Okay, we're going to be adding and subtracting polynomials. Listen, one of the things you got to understand first is that, let me get my pencil here. Polynomials are the big group. Polynomials is the big group. Just like humans is the big group, and underneath humans are men and women. Okay? All men are humans, but not all humans are men. Some humans are women, okay? Well, over here, polynomials. Under polynomials, you've got monomials. You've got binomials. And you've got trinomials. Okay? All monomials are polynomials, but not all polynomials are monomials. Some of them are binomials and some of them are trinomials, okay? But if you have a binomial, it's a binomial and a polynomial, just like a man is a man and a human, okay? But we're going to get into what each one of these are as we go into the lesson. I just wanted you to get an overall idea of the big picture, okay? Polynomials is the big group, and underneath that big group you have different categories. All right, now what's a monomial? A monomial is a number, the product of a number and a variable, or the product of variables. Okay? So it can be something like 20, it can be 20y, it can be xy. What it can't be is an exponent with any exponent must be a number, not a variable. So it can't be x to the y, and it cannot be 1 over a. You can't have a denominator of a variable, which means that, by the way, that if you've got a to the -3, that's not a monomial, because remember the negative exponent tells you to move this to the other side of the divisor line, so that would be 1 over a to the 3. And you can't have a variable in the denominator, so that means that this is not a monomial. Okay? 6 to the y is not a monomial. A to the y is not a monomial. Okay? A polynomial is a monomial or the sum of monomials. Okay? First thing we've got here is monomial with one term. Okay, this is a monomial. It involves multiplication only. Okay? Then over here, when you've got an addition sign, that means you've got polynomial. Poly means many, so you've got many monomials. Okay, so 1, 2. That gives you a polynomial. All right, over here, we've got 1, 2, 3. Each one of these is a monomial because, see, this involves multiplication of a number and a variable. Number and a variable, number and a variable. Okay, so all of these are polynomials. This one is a monomial. This one is a binomial. And this one is a trinomial. Bi means 2. So you have 2 terms. Tri means 3. You have 3 terms. And on this next page, we'll have the definition. A binomial is a polynomial that is a sum of sum or difference, by the way, sum or difference between 2 monomials. And a trinomial is a polynomial that is a sum or difference of 3 monomials. All right, the degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of all its variables. So we've got this monomial here of x. Remember, the exponent there is a 1, so the degree is a 1. Over here, we've got a 3 and an x to the 3rd. Now the exponent with the 3 is a 1, so you might be tempted to say the degree of the monomial is 4 because you'd add 3 plus 1. But it's only the exponents of all its variables. It does not include the exponent that goes with the number. So that means that this is just a 3. All right? Now we've got this one down here at the bottom. Once again, we don't include the 3, okay, as far as determining the degree. And we look at the variables, the exponents of the variables. This is a 3, this is a 5. You add them up, and you get 8. All right. All of these are monomials. Find the degree of each one. I'll pause the video. I'll let you try. No, you pause the video. I'll let you try and then come back and see how we did. All right, this one's 3x. We had this one in the example, so this one is a 1. This one is a 3 because the 3 that goes with the a. This one might have been a little bit tricky for the first time, but remember there is no variable here, so that means that the degree is 0. This one, the degree is 8 plus 2 is 10. Once again, no variable, so that means that the degree is 0. The degree on this one is a 4. The degree on this one is a 0. And finally, the degree on this one is a 4. How did you do? I bet you got all of them. Well, maybe the exception of the numbers that you had not, by themselves, that you had not seen before. But I hope that you got those too. All right, now we've got a monomial, and we've learned how to get the degree of a monomial. Now we're going to deal with polynomials. The degree of a polynomial is the greatest degree of any term in the polynomial. You do not add up all the exponents in the polynomial. You only add up each monomial. So as you look at this first one, the degree of a to the 9th, that monomial is 9. The degree of this monomial is 3. Therefore, the degree of the whole thing is 9, because 9 is the biggest degree of any of the monomials in there. So let's look at the second one. The degree of this one is a 2. The degree of this one is 1, 2, 3. So the degree of the polynomial is 3, the greater one. Alright, now determine if these expressions below are polynomials, and if they are, find the degree. We'll do the first 4 together, and then you do the second 4 by yourself. So after we do the first 4, pause the video and we'll see how you do. This first one, the degree of this is 1. Well, let's first of all, are they polynomials? They involve multiplication of a number and a variable, a variable, and a variable. So yes, it's a polynomial. The degree of this one is 1. The degree of this one is 1, 2. 2 is bigger than 1, so 2 is the degree. This one, the degree is 0. And it is a polynomial. This one is not a polynomial because it has a negative exponent. Okay, because that means you're going to put this in the denominator, and a variable in the denominator means it's not a polynomial. So this one is not a polynomial. First thing you always do whenever you look at a problem is you try to simplify it first. So let's simplify this because we've got a 4x and an x. So we go 6x cubed plus 5x plus 3. And we look at this. This is a monomial. This is a monomial, and this is a monomial. So the whole thing's a polynomial. And we look at it and we say this is a 3, this is a 1, and this is a 0. So the degree of the whole thing is a 3. Very good. Now you do the second 4. Pause the video and get back with me. Alright, the degree of this one, it is a polynomial because it's a variable. So the degree of this one is a 1. This one is the product of number and variables, and product of number and variables, so it's a polynomial as well. The degree of this one is 1, 2. The degree of this one is 1, 2, 3. So the degree of the whole thing is a 3. All right, once again, you have to combine these two right here. So let's rewrite it down here. This is negative 3y squared. 4y minus 2y is 2y minus 1. All of these are monomials. That makes the whole thing a polynomial. And the degree, the biggest degree is, this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So the degree of the whole thing is a 2. And then finally, we've got this one. It's no good in two ways. It has a negative exponent, and it has a variable as an exponent. So this one is not a polynomial. Polynomials have names. Polynomials are named based on their degree. These are the most common ones. Constant has a degree of 0, like this. 6. Okay, 6 is a constant because it never changes. It's constantly a 6. And the reason it's got a degree of 0 is because if you put an x to the 0 or a y to the 0 or a z to the 0 beside it, that will be 6 times 1, which is still 6, okay? Because any number to the 0 power is 1. So we assume that the variable that's there has a degree of 0. And it remains constant all the time, a 6. The next thing we have, you've been dealing with these when you were graphing lines, something like 6x plus 1. That's linear because it forms a line. Then they named if you've got 6x squared plus 2x plus 4, that's called quadratic. If you've got 6x cubed plus 4x squared plus 3x plus 2, then that degree is 3 and it's called cubic. And so on. If you have an exponent, a degree of 4, then it's going to be a quartic. If it's the degree of 5, it's going to be quintic. The ones that you are most primarily concerned with are these two right here, right now. Okay, the quadratic and the cubic. And even narrowing it down even more, quadratic is the thing that you're going to be dealing with over the next 2 chapters. Alright, in standard form, the terms are listed in order from greatest to least degree. Okay? Standard form is the way that you write polynomials. And what you have to do is you put them in order of their degree from greatest to least. So this one is a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 0. Okay? The greatest degree goes first, and then it goes down to the least degree. So if I tell you to write a polynomial in standard form, the first thing you look for is the greatest degree. This one's a 5. So you put it first. Then you look for the second one. 2 is bigger than 1, so this will be plus 3x squared minus 7x. See, we've got them in decreasing order. All right, your turn. Do this one and see what you get. See if you got this down. All right, so one of the key things is you've got to take the sign that's directly in front of the monomial. That's something that people forget sometimes. So this would start out with negative 2y to the 4th, and then negative 6y to the 3rd, and then positive 5y, and minus 9. Did you get that? If you did, you did a really good job.